Yes lads, Vailey here. So today we've got a 100k squad builder. I know I uploaded 300k the other day or yesterday even. Today we've got 100k. This squad is also ready for FUT Champs. Like last time, I'm going to show you the squad and then we're going to go through the custom tactics, what I'd use to use for this sort of squad. It's a very good squad in my opinion. I'm just looking at it now and it looks like it'd play a lot better than a 100k squad. This is for like a 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. I will have more narrow ones coming out soon, but I just find at the minute the 4-4-2 seems to be what's working the most effective for me. So in goal, we're going to start with Pickford. So you might wonder, well, why are you going with Pickford? He's, he ain't that great. To be honest, on this game, I used him a fair few games, and he is pretty solid. Despite him being 6'1", height doesn't seem to matter as much this year for goalkeepers. Plus, I mean, a 100k squad, eventually you'd be able to upgrade it to like an Alisson, and you'll see why I say Alisson in a few minutes. But yeah, good diving, good reflexes, all rightish handling, could be a bit better, but he's got very good kicking and good positioning as well, what helps. At right back, we're going to have Dalot from Manchester United, if I can find him. Yeah, we're going to have Dalot again for 800 coins. He's probably the best right back you're going to get. There's obviously that Maitland-Niles, but defensively he's not as good as Dalot. And also Dalot is 6 foot, high medium. Yeah, as I was saying, good pace, good agility, good balance, decent crossing if you're getting forward, good enough defending for, especially for 800 coins, and pretty decent physical stats. Now, the first centre back we're going to go with is Joe Gomez. Now, honestly, this guy he's on another level in this game. To be honest, he's probably the best centre back for what he got. He cost 1.4k, and he's probably the best centre back you can get for that sort of price. Very good pace, good physical stats, pretty solid defending stats as well. It's good reactions, agility and balance for a centre back as well is pretty decent. 6'2", does a job there, especially for 1.4k, like I said. Yeah, very good centre back. Now this next one, we're going to La Liga now. We're going to go with Hermoso, is it, from Atletico Madrid. 1.3k he costs. Again, very good pace, good defending stats, good physical, good agility and balance, good reactions. Fairly similar to Gomez, but he's 6 foot. As you can see, I'm just going to flip between the stats quickly. You see that they've got pretty similar stats all round, to be honest. Again, there's the odd stat like jumping where Hermoso just outdoes him, but then he is 6 foot instead of 6'2", so it kind of like balances itself out. Again, like I said, I used him for a bit to begin with as well, Hermoso, and he is a very good centre back. So this left back we've got is this Renan Lodi, I believe is how you pronounce it. Probably absolutely butchered that. 4-star, high medium, 5'8", very quick. Again, very good agility and balance, especially for a fullback. That's pretty key. Good enough defending stats, especially considering he's only going to set you back 1.1k on both consoles. But yeah, very good physical, pretty decent defending, and yeah, just all round solid left back. Now at right mid, we're going to have Richarlison. If you've used Richarlison, you know how good he is, for how cheap he is. I've absolutely butchered that spelling. Richarlison, there we go. Yeah, Richarlison. Everyone knows he's got that 5-star weak foot, 5'11" as well, so pretty tall for a winger. 4-star skill moves, high medium. Pretty solid all round stats, to be honest, for right mid. Good pace, good shooting, especially the finishing and shot power. Decent enough passing, good agility and balance, and pretty decent physical stats to go alongside that, and he'll set you back 3.5k is what he's going for on both consoles. And he gets a strong link to our first CDM, Jabamin. Again, I probably absolutely butchered that, but we'll put him in quickly. If you've used him again, you'll know he's a very good player. He's for how cheap he is. For 850 coins, You're getting someone 6'1", medium high, so he'll just pretty much sit back whilst your team attacks. Good pace, very good sprint speed. Shooting's not going to be that relevant because he's not going to be getting forward. Passing, good enough short pass and long pass. Agility and balance are a bit on the lower side, but for this sort of role, that's okay. He's got good enough reactions as well as the ball control. Very solid all-round defensive stats, and good physical stats, especially the 85 aggression. You'll notice that a lot with the interceptions. The next centre mid is Saul from Atletico. He gets the link to obviously Hermoso. Saul, let's add him in quickly. But yeah, he's going to set you back a bit more. He's going to set you back 11k on Xbox and 11,500 on PS. Very good all-round card though, in my opinion, especially for this left centre mid role where you want him to be able to get forward, but also, you know, come back and help on the defence. And that high work rate's kind of just suits that role as well, to be honest. 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills, but 6 foot tall. The pace is a bit low, but it's manageable. He's got pretty decent shooting stats, as you can see there. 78 finishing, 82 attack positioning, 82 shot power, 81 long shots. Good passing, especially, you know, you see the short pass there, 85, and the long pass at 83. Again, agility and balance aren't exactly the highest, but you know, they're manageable. The rest of his dribbling stats are pretty sick. Good defending as well, especially considering you want him to be doing both, getting forward and attacking. Them sort of stats work well. Got good stamina for that role as well, so he can get up the pitch and get back and not get fatigued. Good strength and jumping. The left mid, I mean, you'll probably have this guy on loan if you haven't used him already, but we're going to have Vinicius Jr. Again, I say this for a lot of players. If you've used him, you know how good he is, but considering he's only going to cost you 3,400 coins, you're getting yourself a very, very solid player. Got absolutely phenomenal pace, and agility and balance is just brilliant. Again, not the best, well, I say again, he hasn't got the best shooting stats, but you won't notice it because of, if you get in the positions, you know, for the near post or finesses, you won't notice the finishing to be low. I use him as a super sub for my main team, and he is very, very good, especially considering he's got the 5-star skills and the real quick pace and good agility and balance. He just feels so quick on the ball. Again, physical stats aren't exactly the best, but again, the stamina isn't exactly the highest it could be, but he won't fatigue in the game, especially if he's playing that either left attacking mid, left mid kind of role. You won't notice him to fatigue at all. But yeah, we'll move on to the strikers now. So the first one I'm going to show you is Inaki Williams. Now obviously you'll probably notice this is where a lot of the coins are going on the strikers. Inaki Williams, he's coming in at 21k on the Xbox and 27,500 on PlayStation. The only real bad thing I think about him is the weak foot. It's only 2-star, but I mean that's the only slight issue I see, to be honest. The rest of this card's phenomenal. He's very, very quick. Got pretty sick shooting stats, especially for a player who costs 20k. Agility's good. Balance is a bit on the low side, but he's got good enough rest of his dribbling stats, and his physical stats are pretty sick as well. 88 jumping, 85 strength, 82 stamina. Won't fatigue in the game. The only other kind of player I could see who'd fit this sort of role would be a Rodrigo, and he's about 8,000 coins, 9,000 coins on both consoles. So if it doesn't work with Inaki, you could always go to Rodrigo. So to finish this team off, we are going to have, once I add him to the squad, Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City, 82 rated this year. He's coming in at about 36k on the Xbox and 41k on the PlayStation. He's got 3-star weak foot, 4-star skills. The weak foot, again, it doesn't really feel 3-star, but again, it's manageable if you notice it. Again, he's got pretty good pace, well, very good pace in fact. Very, very good agility and balance, so you'll feel quick on the ball when turning and stuff. Good shooting, especially, you know, in particular the attacking position and finishing. Also got pretty good physical stats as well. 78 jumping, 83 physical. But yeah, that's the squad. We'll jump into the custom tactics in just a sec, but this squad is currently coming in at 96,000 coins on the PlayStation and 85k on the Xbox, so it is a bit lower than 100k, but it's around that sort of mark, depending on if players, are going up because a weekend league or down because it's finished, stuff like that. And obviously there are obviously places you can upgrade the team if you want, then like your right back or anywhere, to be honest. You can it's one of these sort of squads where it has the base to be upgraded over time, which is why I'd highly recommend it as well. But yeah, we'll jump into the custom tactics now. So the custom tactics are pretty much the exact same as the 300k squad builder one. Basically I have 5 here for you, so by starting with the 4-4-2 as well, you allow yourself to essentially have 5 game planned instead of 4 if you start in a formation and switch to it in game. So again, yeah, balance. So this one's basically the default one I'd have for a 4-4-2. It's just balance, depth free, players in the box free. I don't really play about with width. Corners I keep on 3-3. But again, it's all preference, as I usually say with this. For a more in-depth kind of review on the 4-4-2, I'll leave a link to that in the description. I've kind of just gone through in a very in-depth way of how you play it and all the effective custom tactics for that one. If you don't want to use the different 4-2-3-1 variations, I'll show you. We'll get into the instructions now though. So I have getting behind, stay forward on both your strikers. You don't really want them filtering back and helping out the midfield with this sort of custom tactic. That's one we'll get onto in a sec. Your wide players I basically keep on default apart from getting to the box. As you'll see with the players in the box, if you have it on 2, if the winger runs down the wing and crosses it in, you only really have the 2 strikers. Obviously you can bump it up to 5, but by keeping it on 2 and then having that extra wide player to get into the box, you pretty much guarantee yourself that it won't be that centre mid who's pushing up to get into the box, so you won't leave yourself exposed in the middle to potentially get counter-attacked. So that's why I keep it on getting to the box on both the wingers, and so the centre mid pretty much doesn't end up getting into the box. So one CDM even I have pretty much on default on cover centre, and the other one I have on stay back while attacking. Now this one would more be that I can't even remember how to pronounce his name, Jabamin. He'd be your right CDM or right centre mid even, and Sal would be your left centre mid. So the right CDM, or right centre mid, I don't know why I keep saying CDM, will basically just be the one who sits back, breaks up the play if anyone does try counter attack, whereas your left centre mid will be the one who kind of tries to cut up the counter attack before it starts, if that makes sense, higher up on the pitch. But also they'll be the one who gets forward and supports the attackers playing the through balls and stuff like that. So that's why I think Sal's will be well suited to that role, and that Jabamin will be more suited to this role, the right centre mid role. But yeah, that's how you kind of play with both of them. Cover centre, because obviously your wingers will be filtering back as they're on basic defensive support. So by keeping them centrally, pretty much then give yourself 4 back from the midfield. Both fullbacks stay back while attacking. You don't really want them pushing up the pitch in this sort of formation, and that kind of makes the run types irrelevant on what you have them at. You can put them on overlap if you really wanted, so when the odd occasion if they do get forward, they'll be overlapping the winger and then creating more options, but it's up to you really. So we'll start with the very, very ultra defensive 4-2-3-1. Now this one I'd use to pretty much just hold on to the lead if you're in like the 80th, 90th minute. Drop back depth 1, just get as many people behind the ball as far back as possible. Long ball, again, I'd have 1 player in the box, because again you just want to limit the amount of people who end up in the box. To be honest, you don't even want to be crossing the ball if you get it in a wide area. You just want to try and keep it in the corner. Width, I don't like to play about with that much, to be honest. For corners, I'd keep it on. I'd just put it on 1, and free kicks 1. You just want minimal amount of players in the box as possible. So for the instructions, don't know why I'd have Vinicius here. I'd put Vinicius as your left attacking mid, Gabriel Jesus as your central and Richarlison as your right attacking mid in this formation, with Jabamin and Sal, or Jabamin as your right CDM and Sal as your left CDM, and Naki up top. So with your fullbacks, you want them to be on stay back while attacking still. Again, especially if you go into this formation, you do not want them pressing up the pitch. For your right CDM, I'd have it on stay back while attacking cover centre. Again, you don't want them pushing up the pitch. The only real difference between your right CDM and your left CDM is the cut passing lanes. Now I've explained this in my 4-2-3-1 formation tutorial. I find that if you have your left CDM on cut passing lanes, it is so much more effective than if you keep it on balance. It just, again, if you want to view the reasoning behind that, just watch the 4-2-3-1 video. I go more in depth on it. So, but for all your cams, you want them to have them stay on the edge of the box and come back. So the comeback basically means, again, you'll have as many people behind the ball as possible, and the stay on the edge means there won't even be the chance of them getting into the box, and then potentially you're leaving yourself with even less players behind the ball in case you lose it. And on your striker, I'd have getting behind and then come back. So by having getting behind on and not anything else, that means when you play in the long ball tactic, if you do end up getting the ball in behind, you at least have someone to run onto it. And yeah, come back just to make sure you have all the bodies behind the ball. So for the defensive one, this seems to be very, very effective at the minute. This is almost like the quote-unquote meta, I'd say. People have play in the drop back, fast build up, and just playing for counter attacks. So again, the depth is up to you. You can either go 2 or 1 depending on how many players you want behind the ball. I'd keep it on 2 if you still do want to be able to counter attack your opponent. But yeah, drop back, get as many people behind the ball as possible. And the fast build up now, this is very effective for the counter attacks. You'll basically have loads, sometimes you have both centre mids pushing up, but it basically means everyone gets up the pitch as fast as possible. You know, people will be making loads of runs for you to try and score off the counter attack. Players in the box, I'd keep on 3, because again, you don't really want loads of people attacking the box. Only really your 2 strikers. Width, like usual, I don't really play about with that. Corners, again, preference. If you're kind of playing this, I'd either have it on 2 or 3. I wouldn't really push to 4, because then you leave yourself exposed and at risk of being counter-attacked from the corner. Free kicks, preference. I don't really see it being effective having loads of players in the box for free kicks. So for both your fullbacks, again, stay back while attacking. For your wide players, I'd have it on comeback and get into the box. Now, by putting them on comeback, again, they will filter back with both CDMs to support in defence, but by having them get forward, it will make sure they're getting, you know, up the pitch and you know, for the counter attacks. But it also kind of goes into the fact that what I was on about with the you know, you don't really want a centre mid being the one who pushes into the box, so it kind of ensures that it's just your wide players who'd then be getting into the box, you know, getting around the back for the back post, you know, if their fullback's out of position or something like that, or catching the opposition off guard. So for both your CDMs as well, I'd have stay back while attacking, cover centre on. Again, despite you're playing kind of for the counter attack, it doesn't really mean you want everyone on the counter attack. So what you'll tend to find is, despite having stay back while attacking on both, one of them will still push forward. Most of the time it will be a left centre mid, so that's why I have Sal, you know, the more attacking kind of one. So yeah, you will still notice one of them filters forward to support the counter attack, but I'd keep it on stay back, because you don't want them constantly pushing forward. And both your strikers, well, actually one of your strikers, I'd have getting behind and then come back on, just so you know you have 10 behind the ball, and then this striker will be just in front of your centre mids. So if you do win the ball back, they're kind of the player you can then pass to and then link to your other striker, who you keep on basic. So this pretty much means they won't be coming back. You could even put on stay forward, but by having this one on the comeback, you can then link the play into your other striker, if that makes sense, and then you can start the counter attack from there. Then this striker can play to your wide players or stuff like that, if that makes any sense. So for the attacking one, This is more if you go like a goal down or something like that, or 2 goals down. It's like 60th minute. You don't want to go all out yet, but you need to start applying the pressure. You know, put on team press or use this. So it's press on heavy touch, 5 depth, 5 width. You know, don't really play about with width, but the 5 depth, if you have it any lower, the press on heavy touch almost doesn't become as effective. So 5's kind of the minimum. Even then, you could push it up to 7 or 6 if you really want. 5's like the minimum in my opinion if you want it to work effectively. This having press on heavy touch, you'll notice the biggest difference pretty much from having it on 5 depth. Offensive style balanced, again, because it's kind of the 60th minute, as much as you are then, or something like that, you are chasing the lead. You don't want to be throwing everything forward, so having it on balance means it's more like structured kind of build up, and I think you'll find it more effective than maybe a fast build up. Again, width, don't play about with that. Players in the box 5, now this is more so, you know, it will either be, you're pretty much guaranteed to either have the winger get into the box or one of your centre mids. So you're kind of more attacking the box, giving yourself more options if you do cross the ball. Corners 3, I'd keep it on 3, especially if you're going for a lead, maybe even bump it up to 4 if you want. Free kicks, like I said, I don't really see the importance of him. Stay back while attacking on all your fullbacks. So this is a different. Right centre mid, I have stay back while attacking, cover centre. Your left centre mid, I have it on balance attack, so it's a bit like the basic one. You kind of having that centre mid filter between attack and defence more, whereas your right centre mid's just, you know, stand back. And this is a bigger difference. So your wingers, you're going to have both on stay forward, get into the box, especially if you're chasing for the lead and you want to be able to press on the heavy touch. You want your wingers to stay forward. You don't really want them filtering back with the centre mid's tail pattern defence. So you're almost kind of having 6 at the back, but then if you can get the quick attacks, you almost have like 4 up top. And the wingers provide great support then for both the strikers, especially if you get the ball into the strikers, you hold it up. You don't want to be waiting a couple extra seconds to get the wingers in behind, because by that point their fullbacks or their wingers might have filtered back to help out. Both your strikers, you want them getting behind, stay forward. Again, you don't want them filtering back. You want them to be up there, you know, being able to get in behind and all hold up the ball. Now, with regards to the ultra attacking one, this is pretty much, you've just got to go for it. 80th minute, you're down by 1, you're down by 2, you're down by whatever. You've just got to go for it at the minute. Constant pressure, I've on 8 depth. Again, you just want people very high up the pitch. I wouldn't quite go 10 because that's just ridiculous, but 8 depth I definitely have. Width, this is the only time I really play about with it. I have width on 7, just because you're having 3 at the back, it kind of spreads the play, and then 2 centre backs, so they'll be almost supporting the wider plays, not going forward, but you know, getting the ball out from the back and stuff. Fast build up, you just want to try and create as many chances for yourself as possible. Yeah, I find this probably the most effective one for this type of play with the 3-4-1-2. Width, I keep, again, I just have high width for attack because you kind of want to spread the pitch, especially if them wingers. And players in the box, you could even bump it up to however high you want. I keep it on 7 though, because then you always have your 2 strikers, your attacking mid, and then your opposite winger to get into the box, and then you still have a centre mid on the edge ready for any knockbacks. Corners 4, you could even put on 5 depending on what minute you're in. I'd keep the corners on 4 though, to be honest. No, free kicks on 4, because again, I often find you end up just losing it from the free kick and getting counter attacked. So in terms of instructions, how I'd actually set this up first is obviously Inaki and Gabriel Jesus as your 2 strikers. At your cam, I would have Vinicius. Right mid, I would have Richarlison, and then your left mid, I'd have that Renan Lodi. And then obviously as your central centre back, I'd have that Joe Gomez, then Hermoso as your left centre back, and Dalot as your right. I find that Renan Lodi is probably better going forward than Dalot, and also Dalot's probably better if you keep him at the keep him more as a centre back than that Renan Lodi, especially because of the height. Yeah, we'll get into the custom tactics. So all your centre backs, I keep on stay back, just because as much as you are still chasing the goal, you don't want to be conceding more, putting yourself at more of a risk of conceding more even. But especially I'd keep them on stay back, because all your centre mids and right mids are going to be on stay forward / get forward. So yeah, for the wingers I'd have it on stay forward, get into the box. You pretty much want them to keep up the pitch and attacking the ball if you do whip it into the box. That goes for both the left mid and right mid. For your centre mids, I'd have them both on get forward, get into the box, cover centre, because what you'll still find is the opposite wingers will still end up filtering back, on the defence, even though you're constant pressure, on constant pressure you will notice them filter back. So if you just have them to cover the centre, then you pretty much still have the 4 in the midfield. But yeah, get forward, get into the box. You want as many people up the pitch to try and, even if you lose the ball, to allow yourself to apply the constant press high up the pitch. So for your cam, I'd have them stay forward, get into the box, aggressive interceptions. Now, like the centre mid, you don't want them filtering back, you want them to be in the box, getting there. But the aggressive interceptions goes for all 3 of these front players. That constant press with the aggressive, so if you lose the ball high up, these 3 will be essentially the ones who start the press. So you want them to try and intercept passes and just throw themselves at the ball. If they miss it, they miss it. They have the support of the 4 midfielders to loot if they don't intercept it, so they can potentially intercept it. But yeah, you just want as many people up the pitch, pretty much. That's why it's on stay forward. And both the strikers getting behind, stay forward, and aggressive interceptions for the same reasons. But yeah, all in all, this squad is very solid, in my opinion. I'd highly recommend it if this is within your budget. I don't think you're going to get much of a better squad for this sort of price range. This is probably the cheapest sort of squad I'll do. I might do a 50k one, but I believe by as much as we are only like 2-3 weeks into this game cycle, to have about 85k / 100k ish is probably more than easy to obtain, especially with div rivals. And if you don't play div rivals and you play squad battles or something like that, I still feel like it's pretty obtainable to get. And if not, then obviously you can change some players. Like I said, Inaki Williams doesn't have to be Inaki Williams, it can be Rodrigo. Same with Sal, it can be another BBVA centre mid, or well, Spanish BBVA centre mid. But yeah, there's a lot of movement around this squad. You can upgrade positions, you can downgrade positions if you don't quite have the coins at the minute. But all in all, it's a very solid squad. Then them custom tactics are very meta for this current weekend league. I've started my games today, and drop back counter attacks are just ridiculous to play against. But yeah, this has been the 100k squad builder and custom tactics. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like. Comment if you found this sort of squad useful, or how you're doing with this squad, if you've made it, how you're finding the custom tactics and stuff. Subscribe if you are new, and until next time, see ya.